Was this the worst operation of World War II? Because in 1944, the big man himself requested that German soldiers be sent behind enemy lines in American uniforms.
These are German soldiers. All of them.
They'd be tasked with taking key bridges and sowing chaos in Allied ranks for the Battle of the Bulge.
Notify the Panzers. The bridge is intact.
Achtung, Hauptquartier.
He entrusted one man for the job, Otto Skorzeny. So Otto went about collecting American weapons, uniforms, and vehicles, as well as English-speaking German soldiers.
Tell me, Lieutenant, who's your favorite baseball player?
Lou Gehrig.
And what's your opinion of Adolf Hitler?
In the end, he sent 44 men split up into 2 to 6 man commando units behind enemy lines. Now, none of these units managed to achieve the main objective of taking a bridge over the Meuse, but one commando team did manage to persuade a US Army unit to withdraw, whilst another switched around road signs and sent an entire US regiment in the wrong direction.
We've been ordered to Amblev, but the maps are wrong. They don't jive with the signs.
But unfortunately for them, most of these commandos ended up being captured, with many being executed as spies. But ironically, capturing them made things kind of worse, because now the Americans were convinced that tens or hundreds of undercover Germans had infiltrated their ranks.
Repeat, Germans uniformed as American MPs, over and out. Let's go.
So US soldiers, especially at checkpoints, started asking trivia questions to try and suss out the fake soldiers from the real ones. This resulted in a brigadier general being held at gunpoint for saying the Chicago Cubs were in the American League, a US captain being held in detention for a week for wearing German boots, and even 2 real US soldiers being killed by a military policeman. So after the war had ended, the Americans weren't happy, meaning Otto and 9 other officers were tried for war crimes. But he ended up being saved by a British SOE agent who testified that he and several other prisoners used German uniforms to escape captivity, which he argued was no different to what Otto's men had done during Operation Greif. As a result, Otto's charges ended up being dropped, and he later ironically escaped prison with the help of 3 former SS officers who were dressed in US military police uniforms.